Now in this class we are discussing the subject is power system architecture. Okay, so in this subject we are now you have discussing the for our fourth unit modeling of transmission lines. Okay, so in modeling of transmission lines you can discuss. So transmission lines are mainly classified into three types. Those are short transmission lines, medium transmission lines, and long transmission lines. Okay, so in previous class we are discussing about the short transmission lines. Okay, so now in this class we are discussing about the medium transmission lines. Okay, performance and modeling of the medium transmission lines and long transmission lines. First one, medium transmission lines. The transmission line having its effective length more than 80 kilometers. Okay, so the transmission line having the length more than 80 kilometers but less than 250 kilometers. Okay, so the length is more than 80 kilometers but less than 250 kilometers. It is generally referred to as a medium transmission line. Okay, so it is referred to as a medium transmission line. Due to the line length being considerably high, admittance Y of the network does play a role in calculating the effective circuit parameters. So here compared to the short transmission lines, so in medium transmission lines the line length being considerably high. Okay, so here the line length will be high. Okay, so that's why here you can considering the admittance. Okay, admittance Y of the network does play a role in calculating the effective circuit parameters. Okay, so unlike in the case of short transmission lines, okay, so for this reason the modeling of a medium length transmission lines is done using lumped shunt admittance along with the lumped impedance in series to the circuit. Okay, so that's why to find out the medium length transmission lines performance, okay, you have to using the here lumped shunt admittance along with a lumped impedance. Okay, shunt admittance along with the lumped impedance in series to the circuit. Okay, these lumped parameters of a medium length transmission line can be represented using two different models. Okay, here to represent the performance of the modeling the medium transmission lines, here you are using the namely two models. Those are nominal pi representation and nominal t representation. Okay, so here the medium transmission lines are represented in a two modes. Those are nominal pi representation and nominal t representation. Let's now go into detailed discussion of these above mentioned models. Nominal pi representation of a medium transmission line. Okay, so now you have to first discussing about the nominal representation. Okay, so in nominal pi method, how you can represent the medium transmission lines, here you have to discuss. See here, in case of nominal pi representation, the lumped series impedance is at the middle of the circuit. Okay, nominal pi. Okay, that is in the shape of pi. See here, this is the nominal pi structure. Okay, see nominal pi network of medium transmission line. Okay, so in case of nominal pi representation, the lumped series impedance is placed at the middle of the circuit, whereas shunt admittance are at the ends. Okay, so this is impedance at the middle. Okay, admittance at the ends of the line. Okay, you can see from the diagram of the pi network below, the total lumped shunt admittance is divided into two equal halves. So here the admittance is divided into two equal. Admittance have represented with the y. Okay, so and here it is the y will be divided into two halves. Okay, so and each half having y by 2 is placed at both the sending end and receiving end, while the entire circuit impedance is between the two. So that is one half of the admittance is at the sending end and another half admittance at the receiving end, and in between these two here you have taken the total impedance value. The shape of the circuit so form resembles that the symbol of pi. Okay, so this shape of circuit resembles in the shape of pi. Okay, pi, and for this reason it is known as the nominal pi representation of a medium transmission line. Okay, so that's why for this reason, okay, so for this reason it is known as the nominal pi representation of the medium transmission line. Okay, so it is mainly used for determining the general circuit parameters and performing load flow analysis. So why you have to you have used this nominal pi representation means determining the general circuit parameters to find out the circuit parameters and performing the load flow analysis. Okay, so this is the nominal pi network for the medium transmission line. Okay, so this is the impedance, this is the sending end, and this is the receiving end. At receiving end, here you have to load. Okay, so this VR is the receiving end voltage and IR is the receiving end current. P is the sending end and Q is the receiving end. Okay, admittance is divided into two halves, Y by 2, Y by 2. This is impedance Z equal to R plus JS. So here the current through the first half admittance Y1 and second half admittance will be I3, and the current will flow through the impedance value will be I2. That means the sending end will be divided into I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus IR. Okay, so these are the nominal pi representation. See here, as you can see here, Vs and Vr is the supply and receiving end voltages respectively. Okay, and Is is the current flowing to the supply end, and IR is the current flowing to the receiving end. I1 and I2 are the values of current flowing through the admittance, and I2 is the current flowing through the impedance. So as in previous you have discussed. Now applying the KCL at node P. So now you have to apply here Kirchhoff law. KCL, okay, at node P. So at that time what happened? Is is equal to I1 plus I2. So at that time here you can write Is equal to I1 plus I2. Similarly, applying KCL to node Q. Okay, so node Q. Whenever you have to applying KCL to node Q, so at that time here you can write, okay, Is equal to I2 plus I2. I2 is equal to I3 plus IR. Okay, so here I2 equal to I3 plus IR. Now substitute this equation in this equation. At that time what happened? Equation number 2 will be substituted in the equation number 1. So at that time here you can get Is equal to I1 plus I3 plus IR. Okay, so what is the I1? I1 is nothing but I1 is the current flowing through the admittance. So at that time here the sending end current will be Vs. So at that time you can write Y by 2 into Vs plus Y by 2 into Vr plus IR. Okay, so this is the equation you can get for Is. So from this, now applying KVL to the circuit. Whenever you have to applying KVL, Vs equal to Vr plus Z into I2. Okay, so Vs equal to Vr plus I into I2 into Z. So at that time here you can write Vr plus Z. Vr plus Z into in the place of I2. In the place of I2, here you can write I3 plus IR. Okay, so I3 plus so Z into I2. So in the place of I2, here you have to write Vr plus Y by 2 plus IR. Okay, so whenever you have to common Vr term, so at that time you can get Zy by 2 plus 1 plus Z into IR. Okay, now substitute this equation number 4 in the equation number 3. Okay, so here you have to substitute this VR value. Okay, so at that time you can get the sending end current Is value. Is equal to Y by 2 Is equal to, so here Y by 2. So at that time Vs value you can here get Zy by 2 plus 1 Vr plus Z into IR plus Y by 2 Vr plus IR. Okay, so at that time here you have to common Vr plus IR. Vr, so you have to common the Vr terms and IR terms. Okay, so this is the sending end current. Okay. So comparing equation number 4 and 5 with the standard ABCD parameters, Vs equal to AVR plus, so this is equation number 4, Vs sending end voltage and receive. So that is any transmission line, you have to write down sending end voltage and receiving end, sending end voltage and sending end current, and that is compared with the ABCD parameters. So at the time this equation and this equation will be compared with this ABCD parameters equation. You derive the parameters of a medium transmission line. Okay, so at that time you can derive the parameters of the medium transmission lines are A equal to y by 2 into z plus 1, B equal to z ohms, C equal to y of y by 4 z plus 1, D equal to y by 2 z plus 1. Okay, these are the parameters. Okay, so this is the nominal pi representation and the ABCD parameters. So now here you have to see the nominal T representation of a medium transmission line. Okay, so in the nominal T model of a medium transmission line, the lumped shunt admittance is placed in the middle while the net series impedance is divided into two equal halves. Okay, and placed on the either side of the shunt admittance. Okay, so that's why here the circuit so formed resembles the symbol of capital T. Okay, so it is the symbol of capital T and hence is known as the nominal T network of a medium length transmission line and is shown in diagram below. So here see, okay, so this is a middle admittance, this is one impedance and this is another impedance, that means the impedance will be divided into two halves. Okay, so in previous nominal pi representation, the admittance will be split into the two half waves, but here the impedance will be split into the two halves, divided into two halves. Okay, this is the middle Vm. Okay, so sending end voltage, receiving end voltage, load Z by 2, sending end current, receiving end current. Okay, here we have the capacitive admittance. That means it is resembles in the shape of a capital T. Okay, so that's why this is called a nominal T representation of a medium transmission line. Okay, so at the time here also Vs and Vr is the supply and receiving end voltages respectively, and Is is the current flowing through the supply end and Ir is the current flowing through the receiving end of the circuit. Let M be a node at the midpoint of the circuit and the drop at M is given by Vm. You can assume here the voltage drop at M point will be given by the Vm, and applying KVL to the above network. You can apply KVL to this network. So at that time here you can get, okay, Vs minus Vm, okay, midpoint. Okay, so that's why Vs minus Vm by Z by 2 equal to Y into Vm plus Vm minus Vr by Z by 2. Or another way here you can write, whenever you have to simplify this equation, so at that time you can get Vm equal to 2 Vs plus Vr by Y by Z plus 4 and the receiving end current IR is given by 2 Vm minus Vr by Z by 2. Now substituting this Vm from the equation, that means Vm value in this equation. So whenever you have to substitute Vm value in the place of IR, so at that time you have to rearranging this equation. So at that time that is in the form of sending end voltage. Okay, so that is in the form of sending end voltage. So at that time you can get Vs equal to Y by 2 Z plus 1 Vr plus Z into Y by 4 Z plus 1 into IR. Similarly, now the sending end current Is equal to YVm in plus IR. Okay, so that means at the midpoint and receiving end current. Now substituting the value of Vm. Okay, Vm value as usual, Vm value in this equation. Okay, at that time Is value you can get YVr plus Y by 2Z plus 1 into IR. Okay, here you have to substitute this Vm value. What is the Vm? 2 Vs plus Vr divided by Yz plus 4. Okay, so whenever you have to substitute this value in this equation, you can rearrange in this equation. So at that time here you can get Is equal to Y into Vr plus Y by 2Z plus 1 into IR. Again comparing with ABCD parameters. Okay, so at that time what are the ABCD parameters equation? Vs equal to A into Vr plus B into IR. Similarly Is equal to C into Vr plus D into IR. So at that time the parameters of a T network of medium transmission lines are, so at that time what are the parameter whenever you have to comparing this equation, sending end current equation and sending end voltage equation with ABCD parameter equation, these two equations. So at that time you can get here A equal to Y by 2 Z plus 1, B equal to Z of Y by 4 Z plus 1 ohms, C equal to Y most, D equal to Y by 2 Z plus 1. Okay, so these are the 4 parameters. Okay, so these are the two models to represent the performance of the medium transmission lines. What are those? Nominal pi method and nominal T method. Now here you have go for the performance of a long transmission line. Okay, so now you can discuss in the performance of the long transmission line. So what is the long transmission line? Is a power transmission line with its effective length of around 250 kilometers. Okay, so whenever the transmission line length is 250 kilometers or above, okay, so 250 kilometers or above 250 kilometers, the transmission line will be referred as a long transmission line. Okay, calculations related to the circuit parameters, that is ABCD parameters of such a power transmission is not that simple. Okay, as was the case for a short and medium transmission line. So compared to the short and medium transmission lines, to represent this long transmission lines in the ABCD parameter, it is not simple. Okay, the reason being that effective circuit length is higher. Okay, why? Because here the circuit length will be higher compared to the long and medium. Thus ruling out the approximations considered there. Okay, so that's why the consideration will be different. Okay, so this is the long transmission line model. Okay, sending in voltage, receiving in voltage, the load impedance ZC. So okay, so this is the admittance. Okay, and these are the impedances. Okay, see here. Here, whenever you have to ignoring, if suppose in long transmission line model, whenever ignoring the shunt admittance of the network, like in a small transmission line model, considering the circuit impedance and admittance to be lumped and concentrated at a point was the case for the medium line model. Okay, here ignoring the shunt admittance of the network. Okay, here you can admit shunt admittance in the case of a small transmission line model, and here considering the circuit impedance and admittance to be lumped and concentrated at a point as the so like as in medium transmission line. So what are the point you have to concentrate at a point to be lumped like this? Here also you have to consider. Rather, for all practical reasons, you should consider the circuit impedance and admittance to be distributed over the entire circuit length. So here, for practical reasons, okay, here you have to consider it is a not lumped one. Okay, here the impedance and admittance are not lumped, are distributed over the entire circuit length. Okay, so that's why the calculations of circuit parameters for these is going to be slightly more rigorous, as you will see here. So, but what some complications will be occurs in the calculation of circuit parameters. For accurate modeling to determine the circuit parameters, let us consider the circuit of a long transmission lines. Okay, so for to find out the performance of this long transmission line, here you can consider this long transmission line approximation. Sending end, receiving end, sending one voltage, sending in current, receiving end voltage VR, and receiving in current IR. So here you have to take the Z delta X, and so remaining admittances we have to take in the form of delta Z delta X. This is a delta V. So change in current I plus delta V, V plus delta V, by delta X. This is a length delta X. Okay. See here. Here a line length of I greater than length L greater than 250 kilometers is supplied with a sending end voltage and current of Vs and Is respectively. Okay, so here it is here the line will be supplied at a voltage and current of Vs and Is respectively, whereas the Vr and Ir are the values of voltage and current obtained from the receiving end. Okay, and here Vr and Ir are the values of the voltage and current at the receiving end. Okay, see here, let us now consider an element of infinity. Element of infinity, small length delta X at a distance X from the receiving end as shown in figure. Okay, so here you have to consider element from the infinity small length delta at a distance X from the receiving end. Okay, V equal to value of voltage just before entering the element. Okay, delta X into I is the value of current just before entering the element. Okay, so this is the value. V is nothing but the value of the voltage just before entering the element, and delta X into I is the value of the current just before entering the element. Delta X. Okay, so sorry, here V equal to voltage just before entering the element delta X, and I is the value of the current just before entering the element delta x. So here you can assume V plus delta V is nothing but the voltage leaving the element delta x. Okay, here you can assume V plus delta V is the leaving the element delta x. Similarly, I plus delta I plus delta I is the current leaving the element delta x. Okay, these are the assumptions. Okay, now here you can see delta V equal to voltage drop across element delta x. Okay, so what is the delta x? Okay, so this is the delta x. Okay, so this place is delta x. So at that time, okay, so delta V equal to voltage drop across element delta x. Z delta x equal to series impedance of the element delta x. Okay, so Z delta x is nothing but impedance of the series impedance of the element. Y delta x is nothing but the shunt admittance of the element delta x. Okay, Y delta x is the shunt admittance and Z delta x is the series impedance. So where Z equal to ZL and Y equal to YL are the values of total impedance and admittance of the long transmission line. Okay, so here you can uh, you can assume the length of the transmission line will be L. So at that time here where ZL and YL are the values of the total impedance admittance of the long transmission line. Okay, so the voltage drop across infinity small element delta x is given by delta V equal to Iz delta x. Okay. So here at that time the voltage drop at delta x will be given by I into Z. So at that time here you can take I, Z will be taken as the Z delta x series impedance. So at that time here you can write the delta V equal to Iz delta x. From this Iz equal to you can write delta V by delta x. Okay, so our delta is nothing but some change. Okay, so the change will be represented in the form of differentiation. Okay, so that's why here you can write Iz equal to dV by dx. Okay, so Iz equal to dV by dx. Okay, so now to determine the current delta I. So here to determine the current delta I, we apply the KCL to node A. So what is here node A? Here this is node A. Okay, so that's why here you have to apply the KCL to node A. So at that time you can write delta I equal to V plus delta V into Y of delta x. Okay, so at that time you have to multiply with this by delta x. So at that time it will become V y delta x plus delta V y delta x. Since the term delta V y delta x is the product of two infinity small values. Delta differentiation means very small value. So at that time delta V y delta x is the product of two infinity small values. Okay, you can ignore it for the sake of easier calculations. Okay, so that's why you can ignore this one. Okay, so you can write di by dx equal to Vy. Okay, so di by dx. Okay. Okay. Vy equal to so delta. So at that time you can get delta I equal to V by delta x. So you can write y delta x is y v. Okay, delta I is nothing but di by dx. Okay, so now derivating on both sides. So now you can derivating this term on both sides. So at that time it becomes d square v by dx square equal to z di by dx. Okay, so z so okay, now substituting di by dx. Okay, now so equation number 1. So here what is the equation number 1? Iz equal to dv by dx. So whenever you have to differentiating on both sides, so at that time this equation will be becomes z square v dx square equal to z dx. But what is the value of di by dx? Vy. Okay, so now here you have to substitute Vy. Okay, so d square V by dx square equal to Z by V. Okay, so at that time you can put this equation to this side. So at that time this will become d square V by dx square minus Z by V equal to 0. the solution, okay, the solution of this, whenever you have to solving this equation, okay, so the solution of this above second order differential equation is given by b equal to a1 e to the power of x square root of yz plus a2 e to the power of minus x square root of yz. Derivating this equation with respect to the x, so at that time it will becomes dv by dx. Okay, so this term is will be x term, so at that time this coefficient will be right here, square root of yz a1 e to the power of x square root of yz. Similarly here also minus root yz, minus root yz a2 e to the power of minus x root yz. Okay, so now comparing equation 1 with equation number 5. Okay, so this is equation number 5. Now we have to comparing equation number 1 with equation number 5. So at that time here you can get I equal to dv by dx equal to z a1 e to the power of x square root of yz by z root z by minus z a1 e to the power of minus ex root yz by root z by. Okay, so now to go further, let us define the characteristic impedance Zc and propagation constant zeta of a long transmission line. Okay, so we are go for you can go for other. So first you have to discussing Zc and zeta. Zc equal to square root of z by square root of z by ohms ohms. Okay, Zc equal to square root of z by ohms. Zeta equal to square root of yz. Okay, so this is the Zc value and this is the zeta value. Then the voltage and current equation can be expressed in terms of characteristics impedance and propagation constant as V equal to A1 e to the power of zeta x plus A2 e to the power of minus zeta x. Similarly, I value will be A1 by Zc e to the power of zeta x plus a2 by zc e to the power of minus zeta x. Now at x equal to 0, v now equal to vr and I equal to ir. Substituting these two conditions to equation number 7 and 8. So this will becomes vr and this will becomes ir. Okay, so this one is the a1 plus a2. So here you have to take the constant x value will be 0. At the time e to the power of 0, e to the power of minus 0, 1, 1. So at that time vr will becomes a1 plus e2. IR will becomes A1 by ZC plus A2 by ZC. Okay, so at that time these two you get the values of A1 and A2. Whenever you have to solving equation number 9 and 10, so at that time you can get A1 value will be VR plus ZC IR by 2 and A1 A2 equal to VR minus ZCIR. Now applying another extreme condition at x equal to I, you have VS. So here you have to apply two conditions, x equal to 0 and next one is what, x equal to L. Okay, x equal to LN. So at that time you have V equal to Vs and I equal to Is. Okay, so at that time here you have to write V equal to Vs and I equal to Is. Now to determine Vs and Is, substitute x by L by put the values of A1 and A2 in equation number 7 and 8 you can get. So what are the equation number 7 and 8? These two are the equation number 7 and 8. So in these equations you have to substitute the x equal to L and V equal to Vs and I equal to Is. So at that time the two equations will become A1 and A2 values also you can substitute. So at that time you can become Vs equal to Vr plus ZC IR e to the power of zeta L. So that means in the place of x here you have to substitute the L, but in previous place you have to substitute 0. Okay, plus VR minus ZC IR e to the power of minus zeta L by 2. Similarly, Is equal to VR by ZC plus IR e to the power of zeta L by 2 minus VR by ZC minus IR e to the power of minus zeta L by 2. By trigonometric and exponential operators, we know sine delta sin hyperbolic delta L equal to e to the power of zeta L minus e to the power of minus zeta L by 2 and cos zeta L equal to e to the power of zeta L plus e to the power of minus zeta L by 2. So equation number 11 and 2 can be written as, so at that time you can written as Vs equal to, so at that time you have to substitute this cos hyperbolic delta L, zeta L and sin hyperbolic zeta L. So at that time, Vs value will become Vr cos hyperbolic zeta L plus Zc Ir sin hyperbolic zeta L and Is value. So this up to here Vs value. Next Is value will be given by Is equal to Vr sin hyperbolic zeta L by Zc plus Ir cos hyperbolic zeta L. Okay, so these are the values of Vs and Is. Okay, sending end voltage and sending end current. Okay, so thus comparing with the general circuit parameter equations. So what are the general circuit parameter equation? ABCD parameter equation. You can get the ABCD parameters of a long transmission lines are C equal to first A equal to cos hyperbolic zeta L, B equal to B equal to sin Zc sin hyperbolic zeta L and C equal to V sin hyperbolic zeta L by Zc and D equal to cos hyperbolic zeta. The D here cos hyperbolic zeta L. B equal to Zc sin hyperbolic zeta L by Zc. Okay, so these are the ABCD constants. Okay, so now in this class we are discussing about the performance of the medium transmission lines and long transmission lines. Okay, thank you.